We are not going to be, auto QA is not going to be for the 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 seat center, right? We're going to be too expensive. But for the smaller center, under 500 seats, under 200 seats, 10 seats, right? We are going to be extremely cost effective. We're going to be more cost effective than a seat license. So what we do is we utilize a usage model, right? So you pay for how many calls do you want scored? And people say, well, Tom, we're not getting 100% scored. And my answer to that is, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's that's not a bad thing, because I think if you're paying to score every call in your contact center, you're not getting better data. You're just spending more money, right? This is kind of this thought process, though, this math that I'm about to tell you, right? It's been backed by about 300 years of proof, right? There's this statistical principle called the law of large numbers, right? And it's the same thing that allows, pollsters to predict elections. Now, you can insert a joke there, right? But overall, right, they can predict or become with a margin of error pretty close with just 1,000 responses from a certain electorate. It's the way that pharmaceuticals can improve drugs without testing every human being, right? They have a sample size that they know is going to be within a margin of error. We can apply these same principles to your QA to get you with 99% accuracy with a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. So meaning, if auto QA scores something at an 87, right? We're going to be, maybe you're human beings. And we have found that human beings, if I score a call and whoever's listening to this scores a call and your QA person scores a call and your contact center manager scores a call, the average is 5 to 7% that you're going to be off. Right. So that's why we say we are more accurate than human beings, because we're 99% accurate, right? Within a margin of error plus or 3%. So sometimes I'll say 96%, or I'll say the 99% plus or minus. So meaning if auto scores a call at an 85%, right, goes through all your questions, tabulates all your points and is 85, there's going to be a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. So it could be 88%, maybe you have all the way down to maybe at 83, right? But we're in that 85. So you can get that accurate. And I would argue much more accurate than scoring 100% of your calls at only that 85% accuracy. So again, I don't know, hopefully I'm explaining that well, but it blows my mind why people are paying $135 per seat, signing long-term contracts, having massive minimums, when really they should be asking the question, why am I doing all that? And why do I need to score all of these calls when I'm not getting any more data or insights from them? Especially if you're under 500 seats, if you're 200 seats, if you're something smaller, there's absolutely zero reason that you should be paying a seat license. You should be using the law of large numbers. You should be having a certain percentage done with the highest large language model you can to give you the most accurate results with the lowest margin of error.